Were those strange seconds just coincidence? Or a hidden detail that changes everything? Why are fans questioning what they saw? And what truth might be hiding in plain sight? Stay until the end and don't forget to like, comment and subscribe as we uncover a moment that sparked even bigger questions. What if the moment everyone thought they understood was never fully understood at all? What if the seconds that seemed ordinary were quietly holding something that no one noticed until it was too late to ignore? And what if the reason this clip refuses to fade is not because of what is obvious, but because of what was hidden? Before you scroll past this, think carefully. Did you really see everything the first time? Or did something slip by unnoticed? Because what happened in those brief, almost invisible seconds involving Jungkook has now become something much bigger than just a moment on camera. It started with silence. No one reacted immediately. The footage appeared normal, familiar, consistent with everything people had seen before. There was nothing that demanded attention, nothing that signaled something unusual had taken place. It was just another captured moment, another passing second in a continuous flow of images. But then someone paused it. Someone noticed something small, and that small detail changed everything. At first, it was difficult to even describe what had been seen. It wasn't dramatic. It wasn't something that could be clearly pointed out and explained. It was subtle, almost invisible, the kind of detail that could easily be dismissed as coincidence. But it didn't feel like coincidence. That feeling, quiet, uncertain but persistent, began to spread. More people watched the clip again, then again, and each time that same detail seemed to stand out just a little more. Not because it changed, but because perception did. Because once attention is drawn to something, it becomes impossible to ignore. And that is exactly what happened here. A hidden detail once overlooked, now sitting at the center of a growing conversation. What was it? Why was it missed? And why does it feel so significant now? These questions did not come with immediate answers. Instead, they created something else. A sense of mystery. Because the detail itself does not provide clarity, it creates more uncertainty. It invites interpretation without offering confirmation. It suggests meaning without defining it. And that is what makes it so powerful. There is something about the way the moment unfolds that feels slightly out of place. A shift in expression, a pause in timing, a subtle movement that does not align perfectly with what is expected. None of these elements are extreme, but together, they create a feeling that something is different. Not obviously. And when that feeling is shared by many, it begins to carry weight. Because it is no longer just an individual perception. It becomes collective. A shared recognition that something in those seconds does not fully match what people thought they saw. And that recognition is what transforms a simple clip into something much larger. Because now, the focus is not just on what happened, but on what might have been missed. There is also the question of timing. Why did the detail only become noticeable after repeated viewing? Why wasn't it clear from the beginning? And what does that say about how moments are perceived in real time versus how they are understood when examined more closely? These questions add another layer to the story, because they suggest that what is seen is not always what is understood. That perception is not fixed. That meaning can change depending on how something is observed. And in this case, that shift in perception is everything, because it turns certainty into doubt. It transforms something familiar into something uncertain, and it creates a space where questions can exist without answers. As more people engage with the moment, the interpretations begin to multiply. Some see coincidence, others see intention. Some focus on the visible detail, others focus on the feeling it creates. But no matter the perspective, one thing remains consistent. Something about those seconds feels different. And that difference cannot be ignored. There is also an emotional response that continues to grow alongside the curiosity. Because beyond analysis and interpretation, there is a feeling attached to the moment. a subtle sense of unease, intrigue, or even fascination that keeps drawing people back. It is not overwhelming, but it is persistent. And persistence is what gives the moment its staying power. Because people do not just remember what they saw, they remember how it made them feel. And that feeling continues to exist, even as explanations remain unclear. This is where the story reaches its most complex point. Because the more people try to define the moment, the more they realize that it resists definition. That it exists in a space between clarity and mystery, between explanation and interpretation. And within that space, it continues to evolve. New details are noticed. New questions are asked. New perspectives are shared. But the core remains the same. A hidden detail. A brief moment. A feeling that something more exists beneath the surface. Not the answers it provides, but the questions it creates. Because questions keep a story alive. They invite reflection. They encourage deeper observation. They allow a moment to exist beyond its original context, transforming it into something that continues to be explored. So as time passes, this moment will remain, unchanged in its form but constantly changing in how it is understood. Because every new perspective adds another layer. Every new observation brings another possibility. And every unanswered question keeps the story moving forward. So if you have watched it, if you have replayed those seconds, if you have felt that quiet sense that something was hidden within them, then you are part of this story. Not because you have found the answer, but because you have recognized the question. And sometimes that is what makes a moment unforgettable. Not what is seen, but what continues to be felt long after the moment has passed. And as that question continues to linger, something even more compelling begins to happen. The moment stops being just about what was captured and starts becoming about what it represents. Because the hidden detail people noticed is no longer just a visual element. It has turned into a symbol of something deeper, something that cannot be fully explained but continues to be felt every time the footage involving Jungkook is revisited. There is a shift taking place in how people engage with the moment. First, it was about discovery. Now, it is about interpretation. And interpretation by nature is never fixed. It evolves with every new viewing, every new perspective, every new thought that is added to the conversation. What seemed like a simple detail at first begins to take on different meanings depending on how it is seen. And that fluidity keeps the moment alive in a way that certainty never could. Because certainty ends discussion, but uncertainty expands it. This is why the moment continues to grow in significance. Not because it has been fully understood, but because it hasn't. Because it remains open, unresolved, existing in a space where meaning is not defined but constantly explored. There is also an increasing awareness that the impact of the moment does not come from its size, but from its contrast. Because everything around it feels familiar, expected, consistent, and then within that familiarity there is something that disrupts the pattern. Something small, but enough to stand out. And when something stands out within a pattern that has been long established, it naturally draws attention in a way that feels almost instinctive. People may not know why it matters, but they feel that it does. That feeling becomes the foundation of everything that follows. Because once attention is drawn to a difference, it changes how everything else is seen. It reshapes perception, influences interpretation, and creates a new layer of awareness that did not exist before.